Speaking of the big throws, obviously the newest addition there, Desean Jackson, he led the league in yards per catch last year at 17.9. We talked a lot about before you came on that Todd Monken and Dirk Cutter, their whole offense is all about the vertical, the four verticals, the deep ball, and all that. But they didn't really have the weapons outside of Evans to really execute that until now. And they go and handpick one of the best deep threats to play this game in recent memory. So, do you think this is going to be a match made in heaven? What are you expecting out of Desean Jackson here?
I do think that it's going to be a match made in heaven, but I will say that it's going to take time, not only from a game plan standpoint, but also with Jameis Winston, because Jameis Winston obviously has never had a guy like this. Certainly at the pros that he's been able to rely on, and it's not just deep threats with Desean Jackson. They have him. At the mini camps, I was watching them because the defense, all corners have to play off coverage against Desean Jackson because he'll just burn you if you play close. So when they play off coverage, they just do simple little routes where Desean runs fast for 10 yards, immediately cuts around, they throw him a quick pass. And so, boom, it's like there's a target right there. And so Desean is going to get more than just these bomb plays. But I would just say that from a game plan standpoint, we're all very wide-eyed. We all have our imaginations going crazy right now what the Bucs offense could possibly be. But I would just say that it's going to take time, and I think most of that is going to come from Winston's standpoint because he's going to need, and it's not going to. The timetable is not going to start until week 1. It's not going to start until there's meaningful minutes and Winston can start to really get that connection going with Desean Jackson. I think it'll take a little bit longer than people are giving it credit for, but once it starts to click, I mean, if you've got Desean Jackson on your team, I think near the end of that year, especially if he stays healthy, this is going to be a really potent offense. Or even, in that middle third of the season, I think you might see a couple really big games from Desean Jackson. So if you have like a timetable or a calendar in which you're predicting when you could get your big games from your wide receivers, Desean Jackson, I think in right at that middle chunk of the year, could really flourish because that's about